helping you see what's going on in the world to help you understand that we are in the end times, okay? All right. This is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, thou shalt understand that it is in the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. All right, let's look up that word manifest, okay? All right, it says clearly revealed to the eye. This is what the etymology word for manifest means. Clearly revealed to the eye. So it's clearly revealed to the eye for those that can see and understand, all right, that this place is coming to an end, all right? People can't pay for food. People can't pay for a living. People are entertained by sex and drugs on the television. Perversity, all right, is at an all-time high. Lewdness, same thing as perversity in a sense, okay? Let me get this in 2nd Ezra as well. I think it's 15. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5. I'm going to start at 5. It says, behold, saith Yahweh Bashim Shai, I will send plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. This is the reason why, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. All right. The Lord is sending these types of things here now. All right. If you're paying attention to what's going on in the news. All right. Don't be distracted by LeBron James. All right. Be occupied within the things that you see in regard to the scriptures, like right here, a 5.9 magnitude earthquake. All right, shaking New Zealand, triggering a tsunami in the Pacific Ring of Fire. All right, this Ring of Fire, I did a video a couple of weeks ago on those earthquakes in Venezuela. In South America. Can't remember where specifically. Nonetheless, all right, it was within the Ring of Fire. Okay, it says here, a church in New Zealand, a magnitude 5.9 earthquake struck New Zealand's South Island, roughly 26 miles of the town of Te Anau, just before 9:15 local time Thursday, according to USGS. The quake was relatively deep, with an epicenter around 48 miles below the surface. It says the earthquake prompted New Zealand's National Emergency Agency to issue a tsunami warning for the west coast of the South Island from Milford Sound to Puget Point. It says the earthquake may have not been felt in some of these areas, but evacuation should be immediate as a damaging tsunami is possible, the emergency agency says. And then here goes another one. It says magnitude 6.3 earthquake strikes west of Loyalty Island in latest Pacific Ring of Fire quake. Oh, it's the same thing. All right, just the article. Look, here goes the Ring of Fire. Look at this. Can we zoom in on this? All right. And look, America's within that Ring of Fire. Earthquakes galore in diverse places, like the scriptures say, right? So let me do this. All right, it says here, according to the USGS, the quake was felt across much of the southern half of the South Island, New Zealand sits along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a 25,000 uh, a 25,000-mile belt of volcanoes and earthquake zones surrounding much of the Pacific Ocean, where about 90% of the world's earthquakes occur. 90% of them, all right? And we just saw what the Ring of Fire was in this over here. Ring of Fire. And 90% of the earthquakes happen here where the volcanoes lie. That all means something, all right? But just look, pay attention, that's one thing, all right? Then you have this disease called, I'm not no medical person or anything of that nature. I don't even know how to say this word. Let's look it up though. All right, it says here in Wikipedia, cyclophoresis is a disease caused by infection by archaeoites and chlorophora. Words I can't even say, okay? It's a plague, man, okay? All right, whatever this disease is, all right, it's transmitted by feces, contaminated food, and water. All right, this is how plagues happen. These are plagues, okay? All right, and there's more than just this going on. But when we read in 2nd Esdras 15 and 16, it says it has the word plagues right there, okay? Let's look at that word plague. Plagues. Plagues right here. It says affliction, calamity, evils, a scourge, all right, a vexation, slaughter, destruction. And destruction and slaughter, affliction and evil, which means bad times. A calamity can come from infectious diseases such as this, okay? All right, so it says here, a letter supplier to fast food giant Taco Bell is being investigated as a possible source for a nationwide cyclophoresis outbreak. If I'm saying the word wrong, forgive me. It says that has sickened thousands of people. A source familiar with the investigation told CBS News on Thursday. The source said traceback investigation by FDA identified a single supply of iceberg lettuce from Mexico, Taylor Farms, that was used by Taco Bell locations in 5 states where people who contracted this disease. So it's from the farms. They saying the FDA is investigating the source. Taylor Farms, based in Salis, California, is a supplier to several states across the U.S. chains. All right. Let's see, it's here. It says right here, it has sickened at least 1,645 people per the data from the CDC, and 141 hospitalized. It says, but the CDC's tally lags behind state health departments, which have reported much larger numbers of cases. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services reported Thursday at least 4,312 confirmed cases, including 102 that require hospitalization. All right, plagues. I'm not giving any medical advice. All I'm doing is reporting like you see the news doing. Just reading a news article. No misinformation, no medical misinformation or anything. All right, here goes another one. A magnitude 3.3 earthquake rattles Yellowstone Park near infamous supervolcano. Oh, this is good stuff, man. Okay, the scripture said earthquakes would be in diverse places. All right, this is Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. An earthquake rattled Yellowstone National Park near its infamous supervolcano on Thursday. The U.S. Geological Survey said a 3.3 magnitude struck along Yellowstone River, the national park in Wyoming. So like you, around 1:20 UTC and 8:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says the earthquake struck at a depth of 6.5 kilometers or 4 miles at about 24.2 miles from Mammoth. It just happened miles from an ancient volcano feared to be overdue for a catastrophic eruption. Ooh, more calamity. This thing hits, a missile hits this volcano is going to erupt. But the Lord's doing it in his own time. And if the volcano is going to erupt, it's going to cause calamity. It's going to cause fear. It's going to cause destruction and death and plagues. Okay? All right? It says, while a catastrophic super eruption is not anticipated in our lifetime, that's what they say, but the Lord's in control. All right, it says here, the area is heavily monitored by the USGS to track its magma system pressure valves and hydrothermal activity. There was also a separate 3.2 earthquake that happened in Wyoming on Thursday that one near Little America in Sweetwater Country. All right, it says Yellowstone is classified as a supervolcano because its past major eruptions reached a magnitude of 8 on the volcano explosivity index, each reaching over 1,000 cubic kilometers of magma and ash, according to Outside. 3 eruptions happened in 2.1, 1.2, and 640,000 years ago. All right, that's crazy as far as those numbers. The Earth is only like 6,000 years old, if that's 7. The Yellowstone eruptions are collapsed upon itself, creating a giant crater and Caldera, 1,500 square feet in miles. All right, so this is going to have an effect on people here in America when this cracks, finally. All right, well, there was something else. Oh, then you got the wars. Let's see. You got a tornado that hit in San Antonio. All right, here we go.
U.S. military is intensifying its strikes on Iran, launching the first daytime attack in months, and Iran is retaliating by targeting American military bases in the region. This video, posted online, shows a missile hitting a building in Kuwait that Iran says stored U.S. weapons. A spokesperson for the regime says more than 30 people have died as a result of the recent strikes. For an update on how President Trump plans to U.S. military is intensifying its strikes on Iran, launching the first daytime attack in months, and Iran is retaliating by targeting American military bases in the region. This video, posted online, shows a missile hitting a building in Kuwait that Iran says stored U.S. weapons. A spokesperson for the regime says more than 30 people have died as a result of the recent strikes. For an update on how President Trump plans to retaliate, stay tuned for ABC's National News. U.S. military is intensifying its strikes.
Plagues. Oh, here we go. This is part of a plague, man. Okay, people are inhaling smoke coming from different countries because of wildfires. Now, I've seen videos of wildfires being started by people in helicopters. Okay, they take these things off of TikTok. More restriction, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. I know what I've seen. Okay, but this has caused damage to individuals. This has caused damage to land. This has caused damage to animals. All right, and this is gonna have some type of negative effect on people. All right, people have to walk around with masks on their face so they're not inhaling the smoke from the gas from the fires that's coming from Canada into New York. All right, But you can read this article and see. All right, it's gonna cause trouble. All right. But let me get some scriptures. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42. It says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour ye think not the Son of Man cometh." All right. So the Lord is coming when you don't think he is. All right. And some things that you saw through those articles can correlate back to what we can read right here in Matthew, the 24th chapter. And starting at the 6th verse, it says, "For ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." Did you just not hear that man say how Donald Trump plans to retaliate? He mentioned we don't know how Donald Trump plans to retaliate to Iran striking an arms facility in Kuwait, killing 30 people. All right. It's only going to lead to more. Okay. It says here, the Lord said, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, but Iran is being struck by America, and they're just retaliating, just like any other nation would. All right, a small nation is standing up to a great nation. All right. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right? Just as within those articles I read, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So we in that time, the beginning of sorrows. You're seeing it. Okay. All right, but Lord, we is edifying to the next time. Shalom.